I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
How is a girl supposed to take over Gotham when she can't see her killboard? And what's priceless but still costs $60K a year? Riddle U, it's better than Harvard. We are talking DC's Harley Quinn, Season 2, Episode 2, Riddle U. Riddle me this. Who's in the chat with me? Oh, no. We have a full panel minus one. Tatiana is in the building.
Just me. Just get me today. That's it.
Just you. You're
Just
so
me.
selfish because Ryan Nilsson is holding it down from behind the scenes.
That's
Ryan,
right,
how are
y'all.
you, sir?
I'm doing well. And guess what? We had two of the writers of the Harley Quinn series, Justin Halpern and Patrick Schumacher, on DC Movie News this past Friday, and they're loving it. We're going to see if we can get them on the show. But shout out to the writers of this amazing series, Season 2.
Excellent writers, excellent writing. As we were talking all things DC's Harley Quinn, Season 2, Episode 2, Riddle U. And I will let you know, if you don't know me, you don't know Harley Quinn. I am Tehran, of course, hosting and paneling on this DC's Harley Quinn Season 2, Episode 2, Riddle U, AfterBuzz After Show panel. We're going to be breaking down the episode as thus. Kiteman, we get a Kiteman reunion. I feel like he deserves his own breakdown. Riddle U, of course. Surprisingly agile tour guide, Babs. We get a Barbara Gordon sighting. Batgirl makes an appearance, which was exciting. Of course, Clayface is Stephanie, which was the highlight of the show. The frat party and Riddler. We also have the subplot of Two-Face Police, Banetown, and how things went down with Shark. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to, of course, play our favorite special segment, How Harley Are You?, where we decide what scene in this episode reminds you of yourself, some news and gossip, and I would love to have predictions, but as Harley Quinn is so unpredictable, who knows what's next? We're going to try anyway. Let's talk some Harley Quinn. Tati, how were your impressions of this week's episode?
I love this episode because there are new characters introduced, which I am so excited about. And they're not just a bunch more of villainy. So, you know, Babs, of course, at least I don't think she's going to take a villainous turn. So I was really excited to see a new character.
Having a new character is always fun. The highlight for me was Stephanie. Clayface's Stephanie. Clayface's Stephanie was just by far the highlight. Just such a great character. Definitely Clayface. How popular Stephanie was as soon as they got on.
He was
campus,
meant to play that. That was his role.
You have to get into the character so much that you forgot who you are, a la Johnny Depp in 21 Jump Street or Johnny Depp in 21 Jump Street. So the concept of having that character introduced was a lot of fun. Of course, the show continues to be fun. The writing, as Ryan pointed out, with these amazing, illustrious writers is always on point. We get a Kiteman sighting. I know you were extremely excited. What did you think of Kiteman?
I'm glad that he made an appearance. I knew he wasn't gone, so I was really excited about that. And, he's still there for his Ivy.
Do you feel like it was short and sweet or not enough?
No, it was short and sweet. I need to be eased back into Kiteman. Having him every episode, I think maybe I would start to get annoyed. So I like the fact that they just kind of said, hey, he's still here. I'm sure we're going to see him again. And he'll be helping them in, whatever situation they're in next, I'm positive.
I was hoping we'd get more Kiteman. I wanted more Kiteman. It was very short. It was very to the point, but I was hoping he'd show up somehow. Somehow they plug and played him. They're underutilizing that character.
It's not really his scene though. Like, I don't think they want to villainize him as much as, with the situations that they're in and the heists that they do, I feel like it's way too much for him because everything that he's done is kind of just a little bit, he's only a little involved, not all the way involved. So just a little bit was enough.
A little, I can understand that that's just quality over quantity. So it's good to have that. We also had Riddle U, which was this university run by Riddler. And of course is the crutch and the catalyst of the episode, as we have. The whole reason is Riddle U has electricity and clean water and nowhere else in New Gotham does. And so we have to go into Riddle U. What were your thoughts on Riddle U? Would you ever go there? Would you attend Riddle U?
Hey, from the outside, it didn't look too bad. I'm gonna be completely honest.
It looked great.
It looks fantastic compared to, you know, your options over there. So, yeah, I mean, I would go, but after seeing the whole hamster wheel of people, not so much.
Isn't that what life is? Just a hamster wheel till death.
Seems like that sometimes.
We get this. The basketball players are gone because they're gone in this frat party. But yeah. Riddle U, I really enjoyed Riddle U. I like the tour guide, of course. The tour was great, and Clayface's idea of Stephanie plays such a huge part. So we're gonna talk about the tour guide, which ends up being Babs, and Stephanie, who was played by Clayface, and was the reason that Heather Weatherby and Isadora Staplebumpkin were even allowed on the tour.
Yeah, without him, their whole plan would have failed. Absolutely failed.
Because Steph was like, "Don't worry, they're with me." And it's like, "Oh, okay, Steph." There was no other, like, Steph had no other introduction. As long as Steph was on campus, and you know, Chad gave her the weekend.
He betrayed her. Chad betrayed Stephanie.
If that could be her girlfriend or not, Chad betrayed her. I mean, there was so much going on. What were your thoughts on Clayface's Stephanie?
I mean, I don't think I know that every time he plays a character, he's really into it, but I don't think I've ever seen him get into a character as much as he did this time. And it kind of made me sad a little bit because I realized how much he wants to be not himself. He wants to be human so bad, and a girl nonetheless, you know? So I see the appeal, but it made me sad for him because he couldn't get out of the character, which makes me wonder if we're going to be seeing Stephanie again. Like, I don't think this is her last debut.
That's an interesting thought, to see if we get more Stephanie. I hope we utilize Stephanie. I feel like we got a lot of Stephanie this episode, and I did feel like it became redundant. However, it was such a great character. I loved it. It was funny. It was Clayface at his or her best, depending on how you identify Clayface at this point. However, I thought of Stephanie as I wish we got more into her background and how she became so popular on campus. There was a lot there. She was the queen of the campus somehow.
It's because she's overly dramatic. She's just like, you know, everybody's drawn to her. Like when she talks, when she was standing in that line talking about Chad on only having a weekend to decide, you know, the people that she was talking to were just staring at her. They literally didn't say anything, really.
Yeah, and it's like the perfect college girl. And on the flip side, we had Babs, who played this tour guide role, and yet we had a hidden side that was against the Riddler. So surprisingly agile, comes into play. I was wondering how that would play. It was great to see a Batgirl reveal.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And I like that they also showed her motivation, not just for herself because she liked the thrill of it, but also to give her dad his self-confidence back.
And Commissioner Gordon is on campus too, just lounging in her room.
He has nowhere else to go. This is his last ditch effort to just be human, you know?
But he's lost his confidence as the commissioner.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's why I liked when she did it. She was like, "Oh, I can call my dad and he'll come and, get the Riddler, and then he can have his self-confidence back. And this will kind of push him into being himself again, you know, without the help of Batman." So I like that we see the motivation because it creates more of a backstory for her, you know, because all these characters, they're starting from scratch almost, it seems like, minus Harley Quinn, you know, with her dynamic with Joker. So I like to see the world that they're building here.
And this frat party, we see the frat party as a cover for Riddler's dome of electricity. This hamster wheel ran. It reminded me of Batman the movie, the original movies, where Riddler had that mind control thing with Mr. Freeze and Riddler, and it was a whole thing. It reminded me of that contraption. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that movie Ma, where, you know, with Octavia Spencer, and she goes and throws all these parties and gets them drunk and then keeps them. I kind of thought about that movie, quite honestly. That's where my mind first jumped to.
It's called Ma. What's the movie?
Yeah, Ma with Octavia Spencer. She's like an older lady, and she has a
party.
Yeah, and she
never watched it.
Keeps it. You're not missing anything.
I'm sure. I think it was actually snubbed over at the Oscars. But
yeah, too bad.
But that frat party was just, we had every trope of every single college character we could have, and of course the bodyguard and the bouncer. And Riddler didn't want to use just the VIP wristbands. He wanted to use a retina scan, but of course,
he couldn't.
It didn't. So we get Ivy and Harley making their way. Heather Weatherby and Isadora Staplebumpkin make their way inside, and Barbara comes to the rescue as Batgirl. She dons a hoodie and a mask, and she comes to the rescue.
And we see the suit come into play later, which
we
I
see the
love.
suit at the end. At the very end, we see the suit, and it was just a jacket and some yellow gloves. But that trope, the Batman, and her being Batman obsessed, and we also find out that Ivy and Harley had their Batman faces as well.
Which I was like,
normal thing.
That is no. I mean, it makes sense to me. Makes sense.
Well, on the other side of town, we get Two-Face and Banetown with the Bane goons.
I'm sad that they didn't explore the other part of town, because I would have really liked to see. I'm sure that'll come next episode, but I really like to see. I liked it when they showed the different parts. Kind of what's going on in Riddler's place, what's going on with Bane. They all have like the injection, and they write out. I loved seeing that. I thought that was funny.
And it seems like Psycho and Shark have joined the Bane boys, so I don't know how that's going to play, but it was very fun watching Two-Face and the police, and of course using that dirties talk, and then the exact contrast with Banetown, and the Banetown are the ones that Shark and Psycho don't take seriously, and they're the ones who just hit the injection and become bulletproof and super strong, and even eat the tires.
Right. I mean, do you expect anything less from Banetown? No, it's Bainton.
Bainton. I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Bainton, not Banetown. It's a little silent. Bainton.
Yeah.
So it is nice to see the different places and different faces of what's going on in New Gotham. This is all basically leading towards much more. We see a lot of things just being set up. Batgirl into play, Riddler being taken out, and now we know that there are Two-Face and Bainton in other towns. So it's good to see that. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Who was next on her list? On her kill board?
Kill board?
Yeah.
I think she's going after. Wasn't she going after Penguin? Who's she go? No, not Penguin.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
Is that who's next?
I think so.
I feel like Mr. Freeze is going to be a hard one. What if they run into his wife?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that works out as we get into more. Let's play How Harley Are You?
Okay.
What was the Harley Quinn scene that made you think this is you?
I'm with Batgirl. I love Batgirl. I'm a huge fan of her. So mine would be when she just decided to finally do something and put on her gear and just go for it. Just go for it.
Mine's going to have to be when Harley has to yell at Batgirl, but Batgirl's like, I'm going to shoot the switch. She's like, if you have one shot, you hit the guy. And that level, I usually say Joker, but since Joker hasn't been around, we will find that out. We're talking Harley Quinn. When it comes to news and gossip, Harley Quinn is not going to be affected. As it is a cartoon, it will not, season 2 will not be affected by the corona epidemic, something that has been, unfortunately, a part of the DC universe and most of the other shows. But thankfully, we will get a full season 2, and it's already, for the most part, been done. That way, we will get to watch it all as it comes out. Thank you so much. Quick prediction, Tati?
I did say last time the Batman's gonna have a amnesia. He's not gonna remember he's Batman.
Oh, we'll find out. And more, where can people find you if they want to know who you are?
I'm Tatiana Marisa at Tatiana Marisa on all social media platforms.
And of course, find me at I Am Tehran all across the board, IAMTEHRAN. Thank you all for listening, tuning in, sharing, subscribing. We're all in this together. We appreciate you. Thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. Until next week, we're going to be talking more DC's Harley Quinn season 2. We have episode 3 coming up. So same bat time, same bat channel. See you.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.